Ronin fam. Check it. Ronin, stand up. Yeah. Here we go. Be ready for the Ronin age of glory. I got my rogue on stage with the blades performing to create murder scenes. Yeah, I make it gory. My twisting blades cut to the chase like Jason Voorhees. Neo Steel and Zero Infinity stay enforcing with enough bone spears to fill a corpse in. Mother of Sanctuary down, now her brain is pouring with enough blood mist to paint a story. You can't back up, cause Kuya TJ's Barbie's whirlwind, the mirror of the ancients is slamming to no end. Shouting out loud, now my veins are coursing. Rallying cry, fill me with the game's endorphin. So take my 2 cents till you raise a fortune. Before Husher flame walls and leaves you scorching. Helios' ice shards are insane and morbid. xCat's ice blaze will make you fakes all forfeit. Our leader's up one level and he takes the crown. Bloodbath for Shao as we take you down. Iconik leaves you shot. He's on another level. Mess with Ronin and you'll be dancing with the devil.
Ronin on top, yeah, Ronin on top. Ronin on top, yeah, Ronin on top. Now I'll have you saying
Ronin.
Say what?
Ronin.
Say who?
Ronin.
Damn right. Whether you're from the Philippines or foreign, your best bet is to take this warning. You messing with Ronin? Well, let me paint a picture. You will get your ass kicked faster than Vonflo's trigger finger. Trample unstoppable as we're moving forward. Butter is a beast that can't be tamed or be cornered. Magsy is a natural disaster storming. Clears a dungeon when his tornado is forming. Buddha can crack rocks and break a fortress. For a rise alone will shift and shake a forest. Switch Cutie is the wise one, the man of knowledge. Ask him anything, Diablo, and his answer is solid. So think twice if you think that you're stopping us. We take Uber Lilith down with ease and just mocking her. If respect and loyalty is what you develop to, then come to Ronin and we will welcome you. Our leader's up one level and he takes the crown. Bloodbath for Shao as we take you down. Iconik leaves you shocked. He's on another level. Mess with Ronin and you'll be dancing with the devil.
Ronin on top, yeah, Ronin on top. Ronin on top, yeah, Ronin on top. Now I'll have you saying
Ronin.
Say what?
Ronin.
Say who?
Ronin.
Damn right.
What does it mean to be part of
yeah.
Ronin
Let's
PH?
go.
What is Ronin mentality? You might have heard of or even read this on social media by now, but let me explain what exactly our community stands for. Ronin PH is formed to cater to everyone who wants a community to fall back into when playing Diablo 4. The hardcore players, the veterans, the casuals, the newbies, and even the competitive players. We do not follow a single master, hence the name Ronin, but it does not mean to say that we are an unruly bunch, since we don't have any master, but we do follow a code and a mentality called the Ronin mentality. This is almost synonymous to the phrase pay it forward. We take care of our own, we help each other, we contribute to the community, and do our best to maintain and uphold this mentality as we grow and move forward. There is no drawback for being a Ronin, but you do need to carry the responsibility of upholding the Ronin mentality. Good luck, have fun, and see you in Sanctuary.
All right. What is up, Ronin PH? Shout out to the 26 audience that we have right now.
Hello.
And welcome to our second Ronincast for this season. And for tonight, we are going to feature the most buff class after 1.1.1 patch. It is Sorc night tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the Sorc people right here. Where you at?
Go.
There you go.
Hello, let's go, Sorc.
Sorcs, let's go.
Okay, so before we even begin our program, we would like to call on, of course, the man, the reason behind we have Ronin PH right now. Give it up to boss up one level. Let's go.
Ooh.
Hello, what's up? Kamusta guys? Excited na ba kayo? Ako excited na sa ano eh. Ako sa tier list reveal natin nung Mother's Kiss event kasi ilalabas na mamaya yung tier list. 'Di ba? Yung ano, Von?
Yes,
Yung
sir.
tier list natin. Tsaka yung ito magandang announcement to. 2,500 na tayo sa Discord. So, congrats.
Let's
Kamu
go.
let's
Going
go, let's
stronger every
go.
day.
Mm. Iconic where are our guests?
Ay, ako. I'll pull them up.
Sige.
Pero
Later.
mamaya,
Alright.
mamaya pa sila magsalita para hindi tayo crowded.
Sige. Reminders nga lang pala sa lahat yung attendance nyo. Huwag niyong kalimutan sa season kasi magpo-prune tayo at the end para maging active pa rin yung clan natin. Alright. And yun. Don't forget to join our FB group, Ronin PH. And thank you sa lahat ng ating sponsors and our Discord boosters. And I'm up here again with with Iconik, with JMac and Von. Missing in action ata si Shaw ngayon na. Alright, sige.
Baka na-busy sa real
Yeah,
life work yun.
Oh,
yeah. I think meron siyang thing in real life. So, I'm
Mm.
sorry. So, kami lang
yeah.
nandito
So,
ngayon.
oh, we're filling up a big shoes today, guys.
Oh,
Here with us. But yeah, again, a big shout out to all of you people here. Especially we have a 9-year-old kid here. Enzo,
Oh,
welcome, first
Enzo,
time
what's
joiner to
up?
our
Oy, Enzo,
cast.
what's up?
Yes,
Kamusta,
sir.
Enzo?
So PG-13 tayo.
Ah, Nandiyan si Boss Enzo, laging masaya ka-party yan.
Yes,
Lagi niyan
sir.
sa'min shine-share yung Pokemon niya. Oo, alright, sige, are
Okay,
we
so
going?
yep, we're going
Mhm.
to open up the program. So again, tonight we're going to talk about the Sorc and the buff and other builds, and we are opening it up. We're giving the floor to the man, the main Sorc for this clan. Sobrang excited lahat ng taong marinig ulit yung mic ng taong to dahil sobrang galing. Ako
Ay,
una akong
nami-miss ko
natutunan
yung
yung
buckets.
yes sir,
Walang,
doon una natutunan yung damage bucket.
Ako
Hindi
rin, ako
dahil
rin,
sa
ako rin.
taong to, hindi ko alam yon. So again, let's give it up to Iconic!
hey,
Let's
what's up,
Let's
go!
guys?
go!
What's up,
Clap,
what's
clap,
up?
clap.
Maayong gabi, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. And walang math ngayon. As
Walang
you can
mat.
see, it's not really a big of a spectacle though. Kasi I think may ano ba, innate challenge yung sort, no? Kasi tayo na yung pinakamahina, tapos wala pang
Uy,
interest yung mga tao mag-sort, and then biro lang, biro lang. All right, so I'm gonna start this cast with a video that I made for all the sort out there, but I actually chose four sort mains din that I partied up with. Most of them boosted me when I was still leveling kasi ito sila mga blasters talaga. And I asked them for videos, and then I came up with this video just to challenge everyone to give Sorc a try. You know, give it a try. Don't be afraid of its backlash, squishy, blah blah blah, this and that. And even if na buff na, mahirap pa rin, mas malakas pa rin to. No, again, it's all your preference when you start to play Diablo 4, but I invite you to try the Sorc out since there's 3 months no sa season. So let me just share my screen here. And let's play this video. Teka lang. Kita niyo ba yung video? Hindi ba yan ano,
yun. Yep, kita boss.
natakot ako nandito si Enzo, eh. Baka iba yung ma-share ko. Super careful ako. Alright. So, I hope you enjoy the video. For the sort mains dyan, put your heads up. Let's go.
Go.
You have no idea of the power I wield. You are courting pain and death.
Ooh. Ooh, that's slow-mo.
Yun. All right,
So,
guys.
so angas nun ah.
Yes, just a tribute to all the Sorc mains out there. And how do you think of the video? Yup, anong
Grabe. Solid yun.
Sobrang solid. Daming sparks tsaka daming ice na
yes.
nagbabasag-basag. Dami ring apoy. Yung Hydra, sana magka-comeback yung Hydra natin, no?
Actually,
Oo.
you're gonna find out right now na siya yung top of the food chain sa ano.
Yun ang gusto kong marinig.
Yes. So yeah, just bouncing off from the video, what we see there are a lot of variety. The reason why I made the video is to give people a chance to when they want to try the sort na parang mag-ice shard naman ako eh. Parang yan lang naman yung end game eh. So I'm trying to showcase what they can do and what they can choose from. No, there's a wide variety. And thanks to Barber, and I hate to this is ano parang bittersweet na sentiment. Thanks to the barber na nag-online ng sort. Kasi for now without the barber, it's hard to get to those levels of damages, no. Pero it's the seasonal mechanic, so we make use of it, and we're more than happy to make use of the mechanic, right? So, as you can see, may viable yung mga showcase natin sa video, viable build siya and more, no? Because it's only what a week old pa yung 1.1.1, and I bet there's a lot of sorcs in the world that are theory crafting for other builds, right? So yeah, you have your
Agree.
Chain Lightning, you have your Arclash who actually came from the dead. Kasi wala yang kwenta before. Ngayon, pumapalo na ng
Our Clash great again.
10M. Oo.
Yes, sir.
And then we have the Fireball, who's actually really fun with the bouncing and with the buff. No, but it is technical. So if you choose the Fireball, you should know your positions. Kasi yung Fireball has a fixed amount of distance, the first Fireball. You can just, hindi siya homing, kumbaga, no? You have to know your positions. And then, of course, the OP, the most OP of all. And shout out to one of our speakers, xCat. And actually, Near can't make it. May real life emergency din siya. But shout out to xCat who's been theory crafting this since I think since before the patch, nag-conjuration na to siya eh. And that's what you actually see. That's what you actually see sa video natin. Pumapalo siya ng 100 mil, no? So later he's gonna explain all those things. But for now, please do interject, Boss Bon, Boss Up, Boss Sisig, while
Oh yeah.
if you can,
Exactly. So first
if
thing
you
that we're
have
gonna
thoughts.
talk about, yep,
Mm.
ito yung first thing na pag-uusapan natin tonight for our Sorc main, and of course to you, question to you as well, Iconic. How do you level up a Sorc from 1 to 50? Please enlighten everyone here na gusto
Yes.
mag-try ng Sorc. Lalo na if you guys have heard on the next patch this coming August 15, it's a heartbreaking news na mawawala na yung Nightmare Run dungeon reset.
Oh my
So
God,
wala
yeah,
nang only
that's
Nightmare dungeon. I know
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
nightmare, pun intended for all of us. But yeah, so please, this is going to be a great avenue for you,
no,
Iconic,
no, no,
to
no. Let's
share.
talk about the no nightmare resets
Yeah,
first. Anong
exactly.
thoughts mo
Yep.
dun, Up? Anong thoughts mo dun?
Oh
Ako ang
yeah,
thoughts
let's
ko,
talk about it.
sige, ito yung honest opinion ko. Sa totoo
Uh,
lang. Yung bad muna. Para sa akin, syempre, mas mabagal na yung level mo kasi hindi mo na may spam yung ano eh, yung mga most efficient dungeons ng paulit-ulit, 'di ba? So that's
Mm,
obvious. So you have a slower leveling progression na ngayon. Pero at the same time, yung positive para sa akin is syempre boring din naman yung paulit-ulit, 'di ba? So at
so,
least this way, makapag-ano na tayo, magagamit na natin yung Nightmare Dungeon mechanic as it was intended to be. Which
mm,
is yung kakraft ka ng mga dungeons, pili ka ng gusto mong i-run. Tapos iba-iba yon kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng spam lahat tapos sunugin mo lang pagka di mo gusto, di ba?
mm.
so
Pero yun ang ano ko, thoughts ko. I think it's bittersweet for me. Yan. Kayo, ikaw,
how
Bon.
about ako parang in-excite ako kasi it's a very bold move para kay Blizzard to take it out of the equation eh. Kasi they just I mean to be honest, I mean and also the stats shows now we have lost a lot of player base coming up the mid of the season 1. And then taking this out of the equation, parang Blizzard, what are you thinking? I mean, di
Oo.
ba dapat mas gandahan mo pa or mas ibigay mo na yan sa kanila kasi yan na lang yung nagpapasaya. One of the thing na nagpapasaya at nagpapastay sa mga player base mo. So, ako na-excite ako kasi if that's their decision, ibig sabihin may maganda silang gagawin to compensate it. I
Mm,
don't wanna, I mean, don't quote me on this one ah. Don't quote me on this one. Pero baka mamaya maglabas sila ng bagong event mid-season na biglang mag-e-entice sa lahat ng player or baka alam mo na yung iniantay ng lahat ilabas nila o mag-announce sila na ilalabas na nila yung next new class. Don't
awesome.
quote me on that.
Yeah.
I'm just being positive on this one kasi
Ah,
sobrang
um,
bold move nun para sa akin.
I wanna
How about
hear
you,
ano.
Iconic?
Hindi, I wanna hear J-Max first.
Oh yeah,
Boss
sisig.
Sisig's thoughts first. Are you there, boss?
Ay, sorry. Good evening. Nagpa-good evening kami. Ayun, ako regarding dun sa update nung Nightmare Dungeon. Um, Actually medyo pina-practice ko na yung sarili ko. Kasi usually nagso-solo rin ako pag wala akong ka-party. So kung ano lang yung magandang Nightmare Dungeon, ginagawa ko siya. Kumbaga hindi
Mm,
na ako namimili. And with that, parang mas alam mo yun, na-enjoy mo yung game talaga. Kasi dapat naman talaga wala yung bug na yun eh, 'di ba? So parang alam mo yun, try nyo minsan na i-enjoy lang, 'di ba? Para palitan tayo ng keys, et cetera. And I think magpo-promote din dun yung group play kasi siyempre kung solo ka, mabilis maubos yung key mo. Unlike
Mm.
kung group kayo, 'di ba? "Oh, ito pre may maganda ako dito. Ay sige next yun sa'kin," 'di ba? So I
Yun yung
think hindi
maganda.
naman
Yes.
hindi naman siya tipong ano, "Ay wag na, ano na tayo," 'di ba? So I think hindi rin naman siya bad, update. So ayun, excited din tulad ni Ben.
Okay. Yung thoughts ko nito is actually split in half. Because as I have a side in me na parang blaster ako. Pero hindi to siya palagi. May mga minsan na, I wanna level up. I wanna blast through and I wanna farm equipment like 12 hours
True.
straight with the Ronin e-boys. Shout out. Kasi eto
Shout
sila,
out.
hindi
Ronin
natutulog.
boys.
So, yun,
Ronin boys featuring Funkin.
nasad ako kasi mawala yun sa atin and it's kind of tough kasi that's what is making the blasting efficient. No, you don't run out of keys, you just pass it and but the thing is you can't say that it's good because it's an exploit. It's not intended sa game. What I would have wanted was for Blizzard to make a way to make it intended para sa
Mhm.
blasters. That would have been better. And mind you, tell you what, I actually thought of something before sleeping last night after my preparation. Na anong mas better gawin nila sa Nightmare Dungeons. This is actually a better idea and maybe they'll do this in the future kasi they're more intelligent than us eh. Kumbaga, kasi it's their profession, di ba?
Exactly.
What if yung Nightmare Sigils are uniform? And per dungeon, you just have to spend more if it's S tier. So, punta ka sa bunganga ng dungeon, alay ka ng sigil, bukas yung dungeon. Di ba? So, it makes targeting a dungeon possible and it is not an
Mhm.
exploit. And you make use of your sigils. So, I
True.
think it's better that way na if parang magiging susi siya, hindi siya for example ngayon sigil Sarat, yun lang talaga Sarat. Pero what I wanted to see is when you get drops, you'll see a blue or a blue key drop. Parang item ba, 'di ba? Yung blue pangit,
Yep.
tapos
Oo.
yellow, tapos
Napansin ko din.
legendary. Oo, 'di ba?
Hindi
So,
pinupulot.
oh, pag napulot mo yung legendary na or unique colored na key, baka yun si Domain, baka yun si Sarat, 'di ba? So
May
I would have
may rarity 'no?
yes, I would have
Yep.
that would have been better kasi you can choose your dungeon and then you can craft a key for it, no? And unlike ngayon, yes, you can craft a key for it, but it's 1 out of 100 na lalabas si Sarat, lalabas si this and that. So
Exactly.
so that would have been a better patch, but it's a I think it's a development nightmare. But maybe in the future it might happen, especially when the leaderboard is coming, you know. And
Mhm.
then my other side, same kami ni sentiment ni Boss Up na it's kind of exciting because it opens up. Kasi kung wala ka nang yung susi, mapipilitan ka talagang eto na lang para makalut tayo ng susi, di ba?
Tama.
So
Oo,
yung mga
oo, oo.
so yung mga F tier dungeons mabibigyan ng chance to be ran
Exactly.
by people. And that I think that will be fun for half of the population sa D4 players. And then
Yep.
half of it maiirita, but I hope we don't quit because of that. No, super small challenge.
Mhm.
And as a clan, we help each other out. If my Sarat Sibon at my Sarat ako, we won't partner up. We will broaden the
Split it up.
horizon and get other three to join us para
True.
ma-maximize yung maps natin. So,
Exactly.
we will make use of or we will make do of other strategies for that. All right. So
For sure. For sure.
Boss Von, before I go with this short presentation,
Oh, yeah.
may questions ka bang nakikita sa chat natin so we can
As of now, wala. They're just voicing out their same sentiment sa atin dito sa very controversial patch coming up this week. But yeah, guys, feel free to post your question in our chat.
Mm.
Sasagutin natin yan one by one once we pick it up.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, Boss Iconic, let's go. Let's go with your
Sorry,
presentation. So
sorry, but
since
may
Oh yeah.
sinabi si Dijin. Ito si shoutout kay Dijin. Isa to sa
Oh,
mga
okay.
kung si Bon ay grandfather ng E-Boys, si Dijin is the father of E-Boys. Sobrang daming binus na tao nito.
Oo nga,
Sobrang
nakasali
daming
na ako diyan.
binus na tao nito. Sobrang daming binus. So shoutout sa kanya. And I bet
Sir DJ.
a lot of people boost. I don't want to put you down, guys down, pero when I log out, nandun siya. When I log in, nandun siya. And still saying, oh, sali lang guys. Sali lang guys. Ating
Oo nga, eh,
gumaganon.
'no?
So
Tsaka
that's
hindi lang
why,
yung boosting 'no, tsaka ang dami mo ring ano, knowledge na mapupulot kay
oh,
Boss
kay Dijin.
Eugene.
Oo.
Mm.
Oh.
He's a PoE blaster din, so he's not new to this kind of games. So
Mhm.
if you wanna ask him questions, he's a really really good guy. Pero ano to sila ha, ingat-ingat lang kasi magselos si Von. Medyo may ano sila eh, medyo may romantic tension tong dalawa eh.
God damn.
Oh, clingy si Von, boss cat. Clingy si Von. So ingat-ingat lang. Wag masyadong close kay Dijin. Biro lang, biro. Pero yeah, sabi ni Dijin, more incentive when running high tier dungeon. Eh yun, di ba? Kung may legendary key ka, binuksan mo sa higher tier dungeon, more XP, more drops, or maybe even make it harder, no? But you have more incentive to do that. Kasi when you get that key, ma-excite ka. Hindi tulad ngayon, ay dami kong sigils pero susunugin ko naman 'to tapos makukuha ko naman yung mga stockade, makuha ko naman yung mga basura na ano, na 'di ba? So for me it's yung path ng Blizzard as what they did. Pero I know why they did what they did because it's an exploit. However, which e- every perspective we take a look at it, exploit talaga siya. I feel sorry for it. All right,
Mm.
boss. Let's go.
All right. Thank you so much for that, and thank you so much, guys, for voicing out your sentiment about that very, very controversial and sensitive topic.
Uy,
And
shout out kay ano, sorry for cutting
oh,
you up again, boss. Shout out kay Madam Lorilyn for hopping
oh,
in.
thank you for gracing this
Mm.
event with your presence. Thank you. Shout out, Laureline again. Shout out to Ronin boys. Andyan na. Let's go.
Sige, sige.
Masaya na
You
ulit
were
kayo.
you're saying Boss Bon. Sorry.
Ayun, so since on that note, since mawawala na yung Nightmare Dungeon reset, Unlead Dungeon, let's give everyone a chance to be enlightened on how to level up a hero or especially Sorc. How to level it up from 1 to 50. Ano yung strategy? Ano yung ginagawa nyo?
Awesome.
May special ano ba kayo? Dungeon na ginagawa or whatnot? So, yeah, Iconic, please enlighten us with that.
All right. So I will be talking a lot to Up One and J Mac dito. Kasi
Mhm.
I don't want to call them loners but they are.
Uy,
Oh,
not by
yung parang
choice.
Hindi, yun nga, yung parang minsan lang magpa-party. Pero this is not a bad thing because we get data from them, no? And then si Boss Up is a super casual and this is not bad for him. This is ano ba? Ano ba, boss? Parang acknowledged na casual player. And then here's J-Mac din
Yan
na
nga yung specialty ko, eh.
oh, here's J-Mac na may cap sa playing hours niya. Like sabi niya 9 na or 10 na tulog na siya. And I respect that too. So I will be bouncing off from them. But before that, before even going to the process, I will let you know that my other friend, Rax Interax, has actually released a video of leveling 1 to 40. Let me type it here. Rax actually just released like an hour ago. 1 to 40 in 2 hours. So what you do, nandun, he explained it, but essentially what you do is just go run dopamine tunnels.
Yep.
Dopamine
Yes,
Thanos.
So
dopamine tunnels.
if you guys haven't heard of it, so may bagong
Mm,
tawag dito, cherry ng cherry on top yung
yes.
dungeon ngayon. And that is
Very
the
dope.
main
And
tunnels.
the cool thing about this is this is not an exploit. Far from it. This is intended. They buffed
True.
the density of the
Density.
mobs. They put a reset button sa ano natin sa journal natin. So basically what you
Yep.
do is from 1 to 15 domain tunnels, keep resetting it. Don't don't interact with the objective. Don't free the prisoners, just kill the mobs there. And then once you reach 15 or wherever level you are sa ano nyo, sa specialized quest nyo, like for Sorc, yung enchantment, yung ano, ganun, do it and then go back to dopamine again. And do it all over again. Don't kill the boss kasi wala pa naman ng sigils. But when you reach tier 3, when you are in need of the sigils, then that's the time you have to run nightmare dungeons and it becomes trickier na kasi nga wala na yung reset. I
Mhm.
mean, pasahan, no? Pasahan
Yep.
blunt. Yeah, so wala na yun. So, but the 1 to 40 is provided if you're solo like uh some of us, domain tunnels is the way to go. And then maybe for your 40 to 50, I bet it's also domain pa rin until you kill ano. And mind you, the 2 hours na he did this is in hardcore. So that means it's faster even in softcore kasi you have friends to party up with. But again, our case here is solo. All right. All right. So with that in mind, let's go from 1 to 50. And do I have yeah, all right. So 1 to 50 is rather simple, especially kung ngayon, no, ang the best thing and the best route to do is to do the seasonal quest right out of the bat. Not only will you unlock the um the malignant hearts, which is a big boost to leveling, you also get level XP from the quest, no? And then as a Sorc, you actually won't go wrong even if you choose any any skill from 1 to 20. You won't go wrong. That's how cool the sorcerer is in leveling. It's actually the fastest to level. May ano nga yung tawag sa kanila up yung nagmamadali palagi maglaro. Yung challenge yan nila
Mm.
eh, yung tapusin nila yung game diretso. Ano nga yung I forgot the
Sabi
term.
ni Oblation
Speedrunners?
Rush.
Speedrunners?
Speedrunners, yes.
Mm.
Speedrunner.
The
There you go.
speedrun class is the Sorc. Like
Mm.
hands down, not even close sa iba. So that's why 1 to 50 is a breeze talaga. But the
Yep.
thing is, that's why we're showcasing the 1 to 50 is when you reach the fork in the road na anong build ko kasi it's gonna be kind of a Vin Diesel thing na it's been a long day without you, my friend. Kasi kung if you choose a build, it's hard to go to another build, kumbaga. Because there's a lot of things that we can do. So that's why it is still essential that your leveling from 1 to 50 is kind of guided. Right? So, yeah. So 1 to 50, the best builds to actually adapt are 3. Tatlo.
Sabi ni Piglet, can't speedrun when you walk like a barb.
Gag. Tama nga
Teka,
naman.
di ba merong ano, di ba yun yung nireklamo nila na merong passive yung barb na mas mabilis silang tumakbo compared to other ano? Or is it a passive or skill? I'm
Di
not
ko
sure. Kasi
alam. Sorry, hindi ako
kahapon
nagbabarb.
madaming umalman yan eh.
I
Di ba
don't
barb
know
ba ang
why.
pinakamabagal?
Hindi,
Nerf barb.
necro pa rin. Necro pa rin pinakamabagal.
Necro.
Mm.
Okay, I digress. Sorry, I wanted to cut you out.
Uy, by the way, there's a new speed. Okay. So necro pala ang fastest ngayon sa speedrunning. That's thank you, Legion, for the information. But it was held by the Sorc for the longest time.
Yep.
So even if it's a close second, it's still there. No, so all right. So eto yung three. This is by no means accessible na list. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an expert. I just do some researches and ask our experts here, which are our speakers in a bit. So Chain Lightning, Arc Clash, and Conjuration. Now let me defend why. Chain Lightning because it's super buffed this season. The bounces, it no longer needs to bounce off of you. Every bounce is counted na, no, whether so i-increase yung damage niya every bounce. Now I counted maximum bounces is 3 or 4, and then may libre ka ng aspect from your codex, which gives it a chance to bounce 4 more times. So that makes it 7 bounces. So 7 and then increasing in damage every bounce. So that's why Chain Lightning is one of the 1 to 50 na ano. And it's not really that resource hungry. It uses mana, but it's not that hungry compared to Frozen Orb, compared to Ball Lightning. Okay, so Chain Lightning is the way to go. And if you're super lucky, you get the other aspect. Now, whether when it bounces, you get maximum 3 mana back, then you're a god from 1 to 50. You basically don't need any other resource generation. Kasi again, once it bounces, you get 3 mana from it. Ako nga, yung lowest roll ko na nakuha ko yung aspect. Can somebody in chat name the aspect, please? I forgot the name. Pero once I got the aspect, I no longer needed any mana generation, wala na akong mana problems when I got that aspect. So it's kind of broken. I run Chain Lightning in endgame, right? Ayun, recharge. Thank you, Scene.
Recharging
Recharging
aspect.
aspect. Yes, thank you, Scene. So recharging aspect. Whenever your Chain Lightning bounces, you get maximum 3, minimum 1.5. Lowest roll is 1.5. The max roll is 3. So whenever it bounces to anything, the mob, you get 3. Wala ka nang makikitang ano. Hey, Scene. Alright, so Scene pala is a sort. Sorry, I don't know. And he's also Chain Lightning enjoyer there. So if you have questions, ask him. All right. So next is Arclash. The reason why Arclash is here is this is a walang kwenta yung mana sa akin build.
Let's go, our clash.
And it hits hard. It hits hard. So 1 to 50, you're just whipping para kang si 50 Shades of Grey with your Arclash. Whip everything.
Uy,
Ay,
uy.
parang hindi wala. Hindi din pwede
Or
manood
that
ng
is not the reason kung bakit namin pinili yung Art Clash, ah.
hindi
Inisip
Oo,
din
pwede.
sa naman.
meron
Sorry.
pang
Sorry boss, kalimutan niyo si Enzo.
We're not
hindi, sige.
fixated on naked
Ah.
and lashing at
Fifty Shades of Our Clash.
with with
Stop that. Those gifs
yeah,
are bad.
hey, we have
Anyway,
Enzo.
yeah, that's safe. But anyway, thank you. All right, so Art Clash is one of those things that will accompany you to 1 to 15. Matter of fact, this is what I did sa season 0, and I said Sorc is the best. Doon ko parang hindi ko pa alam yung mga nerfs and buffs. I did Art Clash. Wow, grabe, you're mowing through opponents, and then it's really good. It either stuns or brings your cooldowns faster, no? Yung parang upgrades niya. So you can pair it up with whatever you want. You can pair it up with you can go Arc Clash and all defensive, and
True.
then yeah, so Arc Clash is the way to go. And just to remind everybody, and if it especially if you're a beginner, 1 to 50 stats doesn't really matter. But if parang gusto mong bumasa ng konti ng items mo, what you wanna go for is CDR, which is cooldown reduction. Regardless of class to movement speed. If you're leveling from 1 to 50. Movement speed, CDR, movement speed, and overall item power.
Mhm.
Yung dapat green-green sila. Yan lang yun.
Yeah.
Ito lang. These three is what you wanna look for if you're still 1 to 50 and if you're leveling alone. And that's hardly the case when you're in Ronin. Kasi kung makita ka namin, uy, anong level mo? Punta ka dito. After 30 minutes, 60.
Exactly.
Level 60 ka na.
Oo,
True. That is true.
ilang runs lang 'yan.
Oo. So, but anyway, if that's not the case, and if it's chosen, if you choose to, parang I want to experience, if you're doing hardcore, then wala kang choice, mag-solo ka, then look for CDR, cooldown reduction, in any of your gear. Na possible siya, I think nasa helm, nasa boots, at sa amulet. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm just on top of my head. Then movement speed. Why? Iconic. Why movement speed? You want to get from point A to point B fast, because you're still leveling. And overall item power. This is king. Kasi you wanna. This is kind of the blanket statement for bumping up your damage output. So, and please don't min max from 1 to 50. May nadinig ako. I
Oh.
think, sino ba yun, Boss Bon? Si
I think
Halloween?
last night,
Si Halloween ba
si
yun?
no, hindi Halloween. Yun nga yung tawag ko sa kanya kagabi yung Halloween. Si Lowenheim.
Long time sabi niya, do I need to upgrade
Min-max. Oh,
or
yeah, upgrade.
min-max na nasa 60 pa ako? Kailan ba ako
Oo.
mag-min-max? So the blanket statement is Ano ba, Boss Bon? Ano ba yung thoughts mo? Ako, thought ko 80, level 80.
Ako
So
rin
for me, yeah,
80.
it's the same for
Ah.
me, 80. Kasi yung mga
80.
mapupulot mong gamit from 1 to 50, they're just rare and sacred.
Mm.
But you can already do that on 60, level 60 kapag kasi you'll start getting dito ancestral gears on once you hit 60.
Yun. Alright, thank you for
Yun.
that. I
Yep.
actually don't know that. Thank you kay Mitch, tsaka si Boss Rolly. Level
Yep.
61, you
So
get your ancestral pala, no? Mm.
yeah, exactly. So once you start getting ancestral and nakakuha ka na nung feeling mong okay yung stats for you, you can already start tier crafting and min-maxing. Pero 80 yung pinaka sweet spot for it.
Alright, so
Mhm.
I'll put up Dijin on stage for this lang. He wanted to speak about this. Ayan, you're free to speak, boss.
Hello guys. Just to add up, regarding the item levels and the drops, as much as possible, try to hold on to 60, level 60 to level 80, because that's where you get items. That's the
Yes.
sweetest spot, basing on our million runs. So one reason why is when you're when you're below level and and someone is trying to boost you up, you'll get item level requirement 60, and still you get item power 800 most of the time.
Yeah.
And
That's true. Agree.
one reason na maganda tong drop na yan is the moment you enchant these items, it is way cheaper compared to the items you get level 80 up.
Yun.
You can test it out. You can test it out because literally item power, item level requirements makes your item more expensive.
Ah, that's cool.
Yun pala
Yeah.
yun.
Thank you.
So
Yun.
if you have item level requirements 60 but the item power is 800 or 700, you can enchant it like way cheaper compared to an item level 8 level requirement 80.
All right, so I actually learned this from Dijin and what he said, no? So yung main take back natin dito, this is digressing from the main topic, but this is a sweet digression. This is a important digression. Is if you're leveling from 60 to 80, basically don't use any pots.
Yeah,
You
there.
you
Yeah.
want to enjoy that kasi that's the moment you're actually showered by RNG Jesus with lots of sweet gear.
That is true. That is true.
This is not Mordred. Shout out kay Mordred. Sabi niya, ano yan? Legit yan? Sinabi na ba ng devs yan? Which is a legit, legit question. It is not. Pero from the hundreds and thousands and millions of run Legion and the gang did, it's a common theme. Parang common theme siya. Parang at level 72, ba't ako nakakapulot ng 816 tapos super uber rolls? Tapos
Yep.
pagdating ng 100, sana yung mga yun.
Yeah.
Wala na. They
Totoo.
do drop still but rarely.
Yeah.
Parang binibigyan ka ni Blizzard or ni Diablo 4 ng incentive to level up. So,
Yeah.
don't use an elixir. When sabi to ni Dijin don't use an elixir from 60 to 80, just get boosted. Kasi if you use an elixir, mas mabilis yung pagdating mo ng 80.
Bilis. Oo.
Goodbye to your sweet spot of getting showered by these equipment. That's a
Yep.
kind of that's digressing from the beginner thing, pero take note of that because that's really important. And if they don't fix that, probably that will be the theme from season 1 to season 100. So if you know that, you have an edge, and as Ronins, we always have an edge kasi may sword tayo eh. Badum.
Yeah. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh my
Dijin. You're the best.
God.
Thank you, Eugene.
Oh my
Thank you
God.
for imparting us with that
Nagets
information.
mo, boss up?
Nagets ko yung edge mo. May pa-edge-edge ka mga nalalaman ah.
Pero yun, sabihin ko
Ayan
lang
si
din,
Masisig.
sa boosting lang yun kasi baka mamaya may nagtatanong, bakit ako nagpa-level ako ng 50 to 80? Wala
Oo,
naman
yun.
dito yung totoo
Yes,
yun.
yes.
Kasi,
Yeah, that's
iba
important. Tama yan kay Boss Sisig.
okay.
Go, Sisig.
Iba yun. Kasi pagka boosted ka, Siyempre magra-run kayo ng 50 or 60 or 70 pa minsan, 'di ba? So
Higher,
Mm.
definitely
higher gear.
yung mga lower character makakadampot ng much better. Kaya rin ako
Mm.
sumasama sa group, sa totoo lang, eh. Kasi kailangan ko ng gamit. Pero pagka ako na nagsosolo, marami na talagang maraming sacred, wala talaga.
Mm.
Talagang which is hinahanap ko pa yung kasi level 85 ako ngayon, eh. So hinahanap ko pa yung anong level ba magbabagsakan solo yung mga ancestral sa akin, which is
70
hindi ko
boss.
pa
Proven na yan.
hindi, eh.
70 up. Hindi ba?
Hindi. Hindi
At
ko pa
at
Oh,
rin
okay.
siya ma-feel.
well, technically at 70
73.
you'll get at level 60 you'll get ancestrals from time to time, but it's not that common.
Oo.
Uh, ang gauge mo dun is if you often check your vendor, the moment it will offer you ancestrals. That's the level that your character are supposed to be dropping ancestral.
Oh, okay. But yeah, again guys, these things hindi to siya set in stone. You just experiment. This is I will bounce off Boss Sisig, and this is again the reason why Boss Sisig is here because of these thoughts, no. It's really technical. So baka you misunderstand na sabi nila 60 to
Yep.
80 magbabagsakan yung mga 800 up. The reason why it's happening is you are partied up with a level 100, no, so that opens up the loot table of these things dropping.
Exactly.
So you're
Mm.
So
partied up.
again,
So
guys, all of this information is very important. It's very helpful. But again, take it with a grain of salt.
yeah,
Don't quote us on anything. It's not
It's
publishing
not
anything.
confirmed.
Yeah, it's
It's not
not confirmed. It's
confirmed.
not
it's not
official.
written. It's not written and
Uh,
signed by Blizzard. Kumbaga.
yep.
But I'm really confident with this data, seeing how
Mm-mm.
Dijin and the others and
Exactly.
Vonflo run. No, they run
Mhm.
like hindi ko na mabilang yung ilang. When I first joined Ronin E-Boys, sabi ko, ano bang ginagawa tong mga to? They're literally like machines, dude. Like, okay, tapos na. Reset, bam, bam, bam. O sige, tapos na bang? Reset, bam.
Yep.
What's happening here? so, so yun, nakita ko na there's a lot of data that I can get from them. That's why I joined them.
Mm.
Boss Von did this culture na help each other. Actually, it's a Ronin culture.
The
And
Ronin culture. I just
and
adapted it.
yeah, so i-adapt ni Boss Bon, and then blasters came in, xCat, Dijin, Michmaester, yung mga walang no question, just join me. Let's go. Parang
Mhm.
Oh.
alis ka na, oh, may isang slot pa dito, let's go. Parang ganun. So they have a lot of runs in their belt. That's why I trust them whenever they say na, hey, take it slow sa 6280 mo kasi that's where you get sprinkled with lots of good gear. And I can attest to that. At a level 100 na nag-simmer ako for a long time, I can no longer see those 8. Meron minsan-minsan 812, 8 ganun, pero pangit yung rolls. Parang,
Mm.
it's totally mind-boggling how much these people. Matter of fact, ako, ilalaglag ko na lang si Nier. Nier created a level 1 just for that reason. And
Yep.
para mabalikan yung bracket na yun. And I bet a lot of Ronin E-boys do this also. They create a new character for that sweet spot na 60 to 80. Just for a farmer character. Kasi if
Same
you're
class. Same class.
same
Yep.
class of course. So para makuha mo yung sweet spot, and then wala na, pagka 80 mo, iyak ka na, gawa ka ng bago.
New character. Gawa ng bago. Repeat.
But yeah, it's really one thing. It's a good really valuable knowledge to know, even if
Yep.
you're a
Thank you so
beginner.
much, Nikki. Thank you so much for that.
No, thank you so much everybody for this. This is a
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Yep,
concerted Ronin effort, right? So but Boss
exactly.
Dijin is just the one kasi nerd to eh. Nerd tong taong to eh. Bigyan mo lang na pizza, bibigyan ka na ng ano niyan, knowledge. So all right, so let's go back to our
Right,
topic at
let's
hand.
move on.
Sorry
Thank
for
you,
digressing,
Boss
boss up.
Iconic. Sorry,
Thank
guys.
you.
No
No
need, no
problem.
problem. That's very good.
Uh,
Kasi
Alright.
very useful
yes.
information, and please join us, Ronin E-Boys. Very welcoming kidi kami.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
You're very welcoming.
yeah.
All right,
Let's
let's move on.
continue.
All right. So again, three stuff to consider while you're 1 to 50. Cooldown reduction, movement speed, overall item power. I read a while ago, parang na ano na siya sa chat na sa amulet, movement speed is really big. I don't know who you are who said that, but that's actually a really good information. No, get movement speed sa amulet mo because sometimes your amulet at level 15 could be your amulet until ancestral. No, it's one of those things that you rarely change, right? So again, chain lightning. We're talking about Sorc, ha. Again, but CDR, movement speed, and overall item power, I can safely say that this is general sa lahat. Okay. Ayun, si Nasty. Thank you, Nasty.
So,
Alright.
para palang 'pag nakapulot ka ng amulet na movement speed, yun na yung cure sa back pain ng Sorcs.
Yes. Yes. Sorc,
Mm.
and especially if you don't get teleport in the beginning
Mm.
runs mo. So our clash, nandito tayo na when we stopped. It does not care for any mana at all. So you're just mowing through enemies, blinking from one spot to another, lashing, blink from one spot to another, lashing, frost novaing. You're a god from 1 to 50. And
Agree.
then here comes Conjuration, who's actually the laziest. And it's a good thing. I'm not saying the laziest that it's a bad thing. You just put a Hydra and you delete everybody. So, eto din yung mga gustong parang turret gaming. I know there's a class for every game na may lalapag siya ng turret. For now, wala kasi tayong, ano ba yung sa Diablo 2? Thief ba yun? Or, sino yung naglalapag ng traps? Forgot na parang, assassin, yun. So,
Assassin.
wala pa tayong assassin ngayon. Nalalapag lang ng yung thunder catapult ba yun? Tapos, wala pa yun. So, for now, what we have the class is the Sorc. If you want that gameplay, Conjuration is the best bet kasi na-buff na si Hydra. It is no longer nerfing you for using the aspect. It is actually buffing you. It's buffing the duration of your Hydra plus it's also buffing I think hindi ba damage? Indirectly damage kasi yung burn as a whole binuff na din. So these three for me, please correct me if I'm wrong if you did 1 to 50 without any other builds, but these three for me work. Wait lang. Ilalagay ko na lang to kasi parang may nabasa akong hindi maganda. Yun. CCA. Alright, so Conjuration, then Arc Clash. Alright, so these three is your best bet. And yes, as far as where to level goes, it's completely up to you. This is not a general leveling masterclass. And if you are looking for that, 1 to 40 in 2 hours domain tunnels.
Wait lang. Gon,
Yes.
wala pa yung tier list. Sa dulo pa natin i-reveal yung tier list natin para sa Mother's Kiss event.
Yes, so you're not late actually.
Yep. You're just in time. You're just in time. Don't worry.
Iconic after us. Di pwede, Boss Truth. Nandito si Enzo eh. Ano tayo
Oh,
ngayon?
yeah,
Basang
man.
sisiyo. Basang sisiyo muna tayo ngayon.
Ding, 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 ding. Kalma, true. It's too early for that, my boy.
So what's best sa really timely si Rax is Sorc yung ginamit niya. He is running Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning with a with a fireball enchantment. So everybody goes poof. Everybody goes Chain Lightning. All right. So 1 to 40 in 2 hours na kaya niya with a Chain Lightning Sorc in hardcore solo. All right. So Boss Von, or sino ba dyan, may nakita ba kayong questions before I move on to the last bit before we invite our guests in?
Right now, wala. Pero may sinabi si Lantis here. Hydra with bug right now. Is it confirmed? Kasi sabi niya, Hydra scales with mobs. Sa mas makikita mo, mas malakas damage mo sa higher dungeons. Well, this is proven to be true, but we're not sure if it's really bug or it is as intended. So we'll talk about it later on kasi meron tayong mga conjuration experts here
Yes.
who will give you insight about it. So yeah, let's spark that question or thoughts. But thank you for that, Lantis. Yeah, I think that's it, Iconic. Let's move on.
All right, so let's move on to the next part. The reason why we want you to really know how to level up from 1 to 50 is because you will be presented with a fork in the road, no? Because you are presented with two choices whenever you are a sort, and when you get those sacreds and ancestral, and when you try to hone in into your paragons para to save you a lot of time, gold, and effort, I'll present you with this. There's actually a bracket of two builds in Sorc. There's one that's called mana dependent. This means, yeah, it's self-explanatory. You make use of your mana, the
Yeah.
blue ball.
Blue ball.
Yeah, the blue ball. Oh,
Oh,
orb, the blue orb. Blue orb.
Napasa ko
Malabas
na
yung other side of Iconic, the
napasa ko na
midnight
yung curse ko sa
Iconic.
kanya.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, sige, orb. I'll use the term orb, blue orb.
Oh, ayan na, sige.
Alright.
Alright, so you make use of the blue orb. Gagi itong mga to. And then here's the other one that's non-mana dependent. You don't make use of the blue orb. No. Your resource. All right, so I have a list. Gago ka, Bon. So, number one, ano si mana dependent? It relies on a resource generation, like super big time. You have to rely on something that will generate your resource or your mana. No, so when I say rely, it's like life or death. Kung wala kang mana, you're just basically a headless chicken. Kung ano ka, mana hungry ka, mana dependent ka na build. Alright, the next is you will see this and you will need this quite often. This is not an aspect, this is an affix. Makikita mo to sa gloves mo or sa offhand mo. So it's lucky hit, 5% chance to restore percentage kasi range to. It's either you get 10 to 20%, I don't know, of your primary resource. So especially if you're an ice shard and then you're hitting a lot, so you can make use of this para babalik yung resource generation mo. I mean yung primary resource mo. This is one of those things that you will have to take a look at, right? The next is of course another affix is resource generation. Resource generation is actually an affix. No, more resource generation percentage to it. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, sort means. But as far as I remember, this is a percentage thing, yung resource generation. So it actually just adds more resources to your blue orb.
There you go.
And then of course you're gonna need a resource cost reduction. So especially if you're running ball lightning, which is really really costly, like it's 50 per cast, and then by default
Oh,
you have 100 mana. So dalawa dalawa lang
dalawa
yung ball
lang.
lightning mo and then you're done.
Dalawa
Right?
lang yung ball lightning mo.
Oh, dalawa lang yung blue
Sobrang,
orbs mo.
Tama naman.
sobrang lungkot
Na
naman.
medyo malungkot siya na build if wala kang resource course generation. So
True.
percentage din to. The goal for ball lightning build, because I tried it before going to chain lightning, is to have your ball lightning cast at 30 mana instead of 20. Instead of 50 para you can cast more. And then of course, hindi ko na nasulat dito, you also need maximum mana. There's a lot of stats when you're going mana dependent builds, but it's still viable, especially ngayon. All right. So what are the builds that are mana dependent? So we have Chain Lightning, we have Ball Lightning, we have Ice Shard, Blizzard, Meteor. All right. So si Fireball din, I forgot to put it here kasi viable na yung Fireball. All right. So they mainly they need in order for them to operate, they need the blue orb, all right, or the mana. Now, chain lightning, on the other hand, is not really a problem if you get the recharging aspect. Ano nga yun ulit? I'm so bad with names. Sabi ni Sindri. Basta if you get the new aspect, the new seasonal aspect, yeah, the recharging, once your chain lightning bounces, you're goods. All right? So, sabi ni Boss Rolly, yung Prodigy, you also need this if you're a mana dependent class. Because by definition, yung Prodigy na aspect, if you cast a cooldown, ano ba yung cooldown, Iconic? Mainly defensive skills natin to, yung Frost Nova, yung Teleport. your two defensive barriers, you get 15 mana or 25 mana back. All right. So basically, those are the aspects that you'll be needing for these things to work. Now, again, si Chain Lightning, na-circumvent niya yung mana hunger niya by that aspect, yung bouncing aspect. Si Ball Lightning, um, Prodigy, no? Cast Ball Lightning, and then you cast a defensive skills, you get your mana back. Si Ice Shard, meron siyang Avalanche. Avalanche is a lucky hit. Once you do get the lucky hit, you get your Ice Shard for free, or any ice magic for free. So that's how it circumvents the mana dependency. Si Blizzard, actually Blizzard is not really mana hungry because Blizzard, you won't use Blizzard to kill your opponent. You will use an enchantment which is for free. Libre naman yung enchantment. So kung enchant mo yung ice shards, libre naman yun. Once they get frozen, they will attack whoever is frozen. So yung Blizzard is not totally mana hungry because you only need to cast 3, and then the everybody gets frozen and then gets attacked by your Blizzard. Problema lang by your ice shards. Problema lang ng Blizzard is if you're presented by a boss that's called Barricade. Kasi hindi niya mapapatay si Barricade. Anything, any structures, kasi hindi yun na freeze eh. Hindi, they don't, if they don't get frozen, they don't get attacked by your enchantment. So,
yung mga naririnig kong reklamo ng mga Sorc main natin kapag nag-run tayo ng dungeon, wala silang damage pagdating sa mga structure. Thanks for
we rely on, especially if we base our damage on ice shards, on freezing, we rely on them to get frozen. But the downside is yung mga structures, they don't get frozen. I think Blizzard should add a stagger meter structures.
Their structures.
Yes. So yan yung yan mga CC type build, yes, sabi niya will have a hard time with dealing with structures like
Yep.
Yeah. So Meteor
same concept when it comes to poison, yung poison damage or yung poison pool. So wala ding damage sa structure.
Yes. Yung Meteor, I haven't really tried this, but this is a tasty thing to try, and I challenge all the Sorc mains there. Give it a try, and if it's tasty, let me know. I haven't tried this out. Fireball, may makikita tayong dalawang Fireball mains dito, but it's not what they run. I just asked them, please theorycraft. All right, I'm almost done, and then I'll introduce each one of them. Let's go to the non-mana dependent. So this mainly relies on cooldowns. So walang kwenta si Blue Ball, si Blue Orb. Medyo you don't rely on that orb. So you rely on cooldowns. You rely on how fast you can cast your skill because you don't need any mana to cast your skill. So you rely on your cooldowns. So hence you will need cooldown reduction. Reduce all those cooldowns. The more you cast a skill, the better damage output in general. Gago to shoutout kay 5'2 feet. Ang cute na mga balls, gago. They're bouncing. Hindi pala pantay nung blue balls, no? Hindi pala pantay, no?
No, it's not. It will never be.
Okay. Anyway,
it's by design. It's by design by Blizzard. So
by design by Blizzard.
We can't be accountable.
Next is attack speed. So you want to cast often and fast sa mga non-mana dependent, especially Arc Clash.
Yep.
So the two builds that are non-mana dependent are Arc Clash and Conjuration. Some Conjuration builds do rely on Frozen Orbs, pero it is not their main damage dealer. Conjuration skills talaga yung main damage dealer nila, and most often than not, their mana is always 100%. As I've seen all their videos. All right, so before we introduce our Sorcs here, our guests, please, if you have questions, now's the time to ask. Let's give 2 minutes siguro. Bosses.
Yeah, tama. So, do we have any questions from our audiences? So, please post your question here in our chat, and we'll try to read for you and answer everything.
Tips for
Tips
a
for
tanky
a
Sorc.
tanky Sorc.
Let's can you take note of this question, boss Von or
Yep, sure,
Ken?
definitely.
Let's
Ako
answer
na,
this
sige.
later. Thank you, boss.
Sige,
Mhm.
sige.
This is a really good question, but it's best answered a bit later. Two
Yep. Okay,
second
another
barber or
question.
4 second barber in general for Sorc? 2 second if you're NMD. Parang general statement ng 2 second for
Um,
general NMD siguro, no? And then for
actually, let me answer this for you.
yes, go ahead.
So for Barber, it goes for every class, not just for Sorc. It goes to everyone in any class. Um, hindi mo na kailangan mag 2 second or 4 seconds for any of hindi ka na kailangan mamili. I think for now, for me mas better yung 4 seconds kasi even if you have the 4 seconds Barber, hindi na siya abot doon or hindi mo na kailangan tayo yung 4 seconds para mapatay yung kalaban if you have reached the threshold, HP threshold ng kalaban sa sabog na yun. So, it doesn't necessarily have to wait for 4 seconds para pumutok yung barber. Once you have reached the threshold or HP threshold of the mob or whatever you're killing, sa sabog na yun. Tried and tested, kung na yun for party and solo. So,
Nice.
for me in general, mas gusto ko yung 4 second kasi pag pinapatay ko yung boss, mas mahaba, mas madaming multiplier, mas madami siyang i-multiply na damage. So for me, mas okay yung 4 seconds. Kasi, again, it doesn't have to necessarily wait for 4 seconds para pumutok yun. Kapag ka naabot niya na yung HP threshold ng pinapatay mo, magpa-proc na yun.
Awesome. That's a really good insight there. So basing on that, if you're a soft hitter, you're not a hard hitter, I would rather go 2 seconds. Kasi kung 4 seconds ka tap, kasi hindi ka hard hitter, you're gonna spend those 4 seconds reaching that threshold. But if your damage will go to that threshold fast, 4 seconds is the way to go, I think.
There you go.
All right, awesome. Okay, so right, let's move on. Kasi I will give Boss Up the opportunity to introduce our speakers, guest speakers, our
Ayun,
Sorc.
sino ba ang first up natin? Alright, sige.
Yun.
Ayun, si Boss Rasha nandito ba? Si Cold Soul ba yun?
Si Cold Soul.
Siya yan, di ba? Yeah,
Yes.
yun, si Boss Rasha. Cold Soul kasi ang alam ko. Yan, ayan, ang ating first 4-hour fireball Sorc. Let's
Hello. Good
welcome
evening.
Cold
Good evening
Soul.
sa lahat.
Yun.
There you
Good
go.
evening, Boss Cold Soul. And another one. Ito pa, ang tagal ko nang lagi nagbubuhat sa akin ito, si Boss Michmaester. Welcome to the show, Boss
Welcome,
Mitch.
welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay. Sige, Iconic, back to you. Kaya ikaw na bahala dito sa dalawang Sorc natin.
No, we have another one.
Actually,
Yes.
introduce na rin yung Conjuration.
Yep, Conjuration.
Lahat na ba?
Lahat na lang.
Sige, ito pa si lahat na. Sige, ito pa si si Boss xCat, si Cat. Isa pa nagbubuhat sa akin. Actually, lahat ng nasa stage na to binubuhat ako. Yun, Boss Cat, yan pa mga pro
Hello.
Sorcs na idol ko. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's go.
Let's go.
Alright, awesome. So now that you're here, guys, anong may first question sa inyo, and maybe let's start with Kat here. Kasi the reason why I know Kat is yung hindi pa ako e-boy, like season 0 pa. Nagla-live to siya and then when I clicked his live, he was the first Sorc that I saw nag-meteor kay Lilith. Sabi ko, ang galing ng tao na to Kasi ako, Sorc talaga. I'm sorry, Blizzard. Galing ng tao na to. So I was watching his live and he was here crafting and he was so persistent in killing Lilith. So naghanga ako sa kanya, I asked him questions and stuff. But that time, yung kinakausap ko pa na mga Sorc, which is shout out sa kanila, I think they're still here, sina Helio, sina Asher. Pero yung main topic namin was Art Clash. Hindi pa yung ano. So that's why this guy is really good in tier crafting, making builds for everybody, and also boosting. So first question, xCat, ano yung mentality mo going towards this build? No, let's just say create ka ng bagong character, you're not getting boosted, and then you have this build in mind na hey, at end game gusto kong maging conjurer. Yeah, good question. So sa akin, it's a mix of like what you want to play, like fantasy na gusto ko kasi yung Frozen Orb, parang staple siya nung old Diablo games. So it was really Frozen Orb and Hydra. So basically, mindset ko was to look for a build that combines both, na hindi mana hungry, and it's a little more enjoyable than the traditional builds. Kasi na-try ko na yung Ice Shard and Blizzard. So I wanted to really try something else.
So in essence, season 1 mo pa tong ginawa tong build na to, no?
Oh, I actually already tried Hydra.
Okay.
Pero
Before.
bitin yung damage eh.
Especially na yung nerfed siya, di ba? Alright, so same question to Russia.
Yun. Actually, nung nag-start ako nitong season 1, ano siya kumbaga sawaan na tayo din tayo sa cold builds eh. Kaya lang, kumbaga no choice ka since wala pa ibang talagang totally viable na unlike yung conjuration. So, nung lumabas yung bagong patch, tinry ko yung yung fireball. Baga, I was looking for something different aside the usual cold builds. Yun yung ko nung mag-start ako. So, nung nagkaroon ng option, sabi ko, let's try. Let's see kung viable ba.
Cool. Yes. Same sentiment kay kay xCat, different builds lang. Si Michmaester, ano yung thought process mo dun?
Dati kasi pag nung season 0, pag nakakita ka ng Sorc, alam mo na Ice Shard yan eh.
Oo.
Tama.
Parang isang build lang yung viable sa Sorc nun. Kaya nung nakita ko yung mga patch note for season 1, gusto ko talaga matry yung ibang build ng Sorc.
Alright. May newcomer tayo, na-convince siya sa Sorc, pero ayaw niya yung mga drip ng Sorc. That's why hindi niya binili lahat ng costume ng Sorc sa shop. Kasi nag-necro tong taong to, binili niya halos lahat ng drip ng necro eh. So, I will ask Boss Von.
Ay, hindi. Nabili ko din ata lahat sa Sorc.
Hindi, joke lang.
Uy, humble brag.
Hindi binili lahat yun.
Napindot ko, nabili ko din ata lahat.
Kasi I wanted to ask him, and next is si Boss Sisig, because Boss Sisig also tried Sorc, is trying Sorc.
Yep.
Boss Von muna, as a newer guy getting into the Sorc gang, what's your, same question sa kanila, what's your mentality getting into Sorc?
Actually, sobrang blinded ako going into this Sorc kasi ito yung isa sa mga hindi ko na-try talaga ito na class for coming up from pre-season at saka ng season 1. So sabi ko, let's give it a try. Kapares kami ni Boss Sisig nung nakita na same gameplay nung pinaka-beloved class namin, which is Rogue. Yung melee game style, face tank, gameplay. So yun yung naging parang inspiration ko to check anong build for me for Sorc. And then yun, nakita namin yung Arc Clash. Again, as you mentioned earlier, it's coming from the dead talaga. Kasi no one have ever talked about doing Arc Clash since nung nilabas si Stoyven, yung nag-tier 100 and Lilith kill. So, dun nabuhayan ulit yung mga tao to try out Arc Clash eh.
Yes.
Yeah, so yun yung naging thought process ko eh. Parang, I wanna try other class but with the same gameplay of what I used to love.
Yeah, but starting off from that, I actually kind of acknowledge na eto si Bon nag-try ng Sorc prior to the buff news pa ha. Sabi na niya, I will try the Sorc kahit wala pa yung buff news kasi baka yung tao sabihin na ay na buff so trinay. Bon actually said, I try ko yan Iconik. And then na buff so of course naganahan pa ng
mas lalong naganahan.
Boss Sisig kasi ito pinaka surprise ako nito kasi
rogue enjoyer talaga to.
Sobra.
Aside lang sa D3 nag din to nag wizard to sa D3. Pero dito sa D4, rogue enjoyer to, and I think most of the Diablo installments rogue siya. So na-surprise ako nagsabi siya, nag-meeting kami noon. Sinong pwedeng tumawid sa akin sa capstone? Kanina pa ako dito. Sabi ko, boss, anong ginawa mo? Sabi siya, gumawa ako ng sort. Diretso. Tara, support diretso. Nag-sort ka pala eh. So yeah, boss Sisig, ano yung mindset mo why in leveling your sort and looking for a build?
Unang dahilan ko kasi yung kamay ko masakit.
Rogue pa more.
Mararamdaman
Hindi.
mo daw yung
Parang
parang
ilang buwan na
angel.
akong nagre-left click, right click eh. Alam mo yung parang hindi, joke. Nakita ko na yung Arclash. Hindi siya Arclash, actually ball lightning siya. Meron dito pero hindi ko na siya nakikita dito eh. Pero naka-party namin siya. Tapos nung una kong nakita, ano pa to? Pre-season. Nakikita ko na sumasabay siya eh. Nakalimutan ko yung name talaga nung Ronin na yun eh. Pero nakita ko sumasabay siya dun sa ano kasi yun eh, parang run. Tapos nakikita ko may bolang umiikot sa paligid niya, tapos pumapasok siya. Tapos actually kami yun ni Boss sino to? Si Boss Rex. Na sabi ko, anong build yun? Parang rogue din yun na mabilis din tumakbo, tapos pumapasok, tapos parang nangaharabas sa gitna ng mga mobs. So parang sabi ko, gusto kong itry yun. Tapos yun nga, nung prior nga nung buff, which is tiningnan ko rin yung patch 1.1.1, parang wala rin namang buff sa Arclash, tama ba ako? So, ayun, tinry ko lang yung Arclash. Ngayon na-enjoy ko kasi para talaga siyang rogue, 'di ba? Pasok, tapos pindutin mo lahat ng buttons, ganun. So, wala, masaya. Lalo na nung nag-online na yung build ko. Masaya. Kung gusto niyo yung gameplay ng rogue, lalo na yung twisting blade saka yung flurry. Well, hindi sa tankiness, hindi ko pa siya siguro dahil hindi ko pa ma-judge na dahil nga level 85 pa lang ako eh. Pero yun nga lang, yung nga nirereklamo ng Sorc, medyo hindi siya ganoon kakunat, pero sumasabay eh. So, ayun, hanggang ngayon, yung rogue ko baka nagtatampo na, hindi ko pa siya
Actually, it
nasisilip
is
ulit
very
kasi.
tanky yung Arclash sobrang tanky ng Arclash. Kahapon we're doing a 4-man Nightmare Dungeon run on tier 70 plus. Na solo tank ko si Butcher before makadating yung mga kakampi ko. So, yeah, I think one of the best tanky build for Sword is Arclash.
Is Arclash, yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
there you have it, guys. Vonflo, Arclash, Boss Sisig, Arclash slash maybe magball lightning siya, and then we have two fire sorry. Two fireballs, and then we have one conjuration. Ayan. So, the next question would be, just to get the party started, rolling, is for Boss Up actually. Why did you betray us?
Why did you left Sorc? Why?
Hindi.
Hindi.
Sorc pa rin yan ngayon. Sorc
Ay,
pa rin
nakita mo ba yun?
Biro lang.
siya.
Ano, hindi actually alam niyo naman yung ako as a casual player, syempre yung buong season ko as in one character lang talaga ang kaya kong gawin. So, 'di ba nung season 1 Sorc ako. I mean nung Eternal
Oh, yeah,
season
na-enjoy mo
0.
talaga yung start niya.
Yeah. Na-enjoy ko, grabe gusto ko yung brrrt ice
There you
shards
go.
kung ganun eh.
Yes.
Sobrang saya eh. So, para naman bago yung mas fresh yung enjoyment ko sa season 1, nag-rogue naman ako. Kasi yun
Yes.
naman talaga yung target ko nun before pa actually. Basta yun. Tapos plano ko is next season 2 is druid naman kasi yun nga, I want to enjoy all the classes. Tapos
Yes.
iba-ibang builds. Parang parang yung mga knights natin, rino-rotation ko siya. I'm never sticking just to just one build or one class. Kasi I want to try the variety. Yun.
That's the reason why I ask up, kasi we just want to go back to our roots and grounding na play whatever preference you want. No, doesn't matter. Again, we're not doing Sorc Knight to convert everybody to Sorc, no? We're not
Yep.
doing Rogue Knight to convert everybody sa Rogue. We're actually promoting each class na it's fun. You can choose from. You can main something like Boss Sisig and me. Boss Sisig is rogue, the killer, the dasher, those types, and I am the caster always. But I do try any other ano ba archetype of or class, no? So that's
I
why
main drip. So
yeah,
wherever the group is, I'm there.
the reason why I ask Boss Up here is he is our representative sa mga casuals and nag-sort siya dati, no? So it's actually not a sin to go from one class to another. No, don't
There
get
you
that
go. Yes,
stigma.
sir.
Huwag kayong ay ayoko ng ganito kasi baka sabihin nila, "Oy, nag-try ka kasi nag-ano ka no, nag-bandwagon ka." Walang bandwagoning sa Diablo
No.
4. Oo.
No.
Yung tsaka yung mga sinasabi ko yung mga, "Uy, traitor ka." Actually, tinraitor ko rin yung mga necrogang.
Oo,
Ano,
oo. Yan yung
Oo.
pinakaunang tinrader.
Oo nga.
oo. Necrogang muna yung tinraider ko, ngayon tinraider ko yung Sorc. Next season, tatraiderin ko yung Necros. Ay, yung Rogues. So, ganun lang,
So yeah,
Traitor sa lahat ng klase.
shout out to Boss Rolly, who's actually an ice shard. Correct me if I'm wrong, Boss Rolly, because I see your live progging
Oh, no,
Lilith.
yeah, he's using
Don't
this
limit
card right
yourself to one
now.
class, and I love that.
Tama
That's
naman.
just how D4 operates, guys. Um, pero yung process is, no, I will just digress a bit. Yung process ni Boss Up is one class per season.
Per
Kapag
season.
niya muna, i-enjoy niya. That's always fine. And here's Dijin. I hate to say this, but Dijin's process is, I wanna just immerse myself sa necro, make another necro, make another necro, make another necro, and then learn this class. And then maybe sa season 2, iba na naman yung i-learn ko. So that's also another way of doing things. And here's maybe Von and me na, okay, I'm done with this. I'll make another one. It's fine.
Yep.
Those three examples are fine. Walang problema yan. May iba din
Sabi
na
nga
ano
nila,
lang, may iba din na hanggang 69 lang, level 69. Move on na sila sa next
Ay, magic
character.
number.
sabi ni, yun, tulad nga
Ma-
yan, I was just gonna say, sabi nga ni Enzo kanina na
Uy, si
magka-party
Enzo,
kami,
oh, yep.
tinanong ko siya, uy, bakit iba na yung class mo, di ba hindi pa na 100 yung isa? Sabi
Yep.
niya, bakit Tito Con, sino ba may sabing magpa 100
Yun.
na ako
Tama.
mag-try ng iba?
Kahit
Di
nga
ba?
daw
So,
level 2, pwede na siya mag-create, di ba?
exactly, that's the correct mentality. Pwede kayo mag-change ng class kahit hindi nyo pa napapa 100 or nami-min-max yung isang class nyo as long as you're having fun with it.
Yes.
Si Enzo nakita ko sobrang saya niya dun sa bagong class niya ngayon, which is Druid. Kaya yun. So again, try out any class. We're not
Yes.
doing
Have fun. That's
yep,
just
exactly.
how to enjoy Diablo 4. 1
Have
million
fun.
$1 billion advice, have fun. If you're not
Have
already
fun.
having fun with your sword, or if you're not having fun with your barb, like shout out kay Ma'am Lorilyn. If you're not having fun with it,
Barb pa rin.
switch.
Iniwan din niya yung barb eh.
Barb.
Oh,
Iniwan
iniwan
din
niya yung barb. Parang it's not for me talaga daw, sabi niya eh. So, yun,
Oo.
iniwan niya, naging druid siya, naging ano ba yung tawag niyan? Marites na bulky. So anyway, all right, so let's go to the kind of the nitty-gritties of sort. This is the high level end game advice that we need, no? Yung mga taong gustong mag-improve pa sa damage nila, ay boss Iconik, nag-conjuration ako, but 10M lang yung max ko, but hindi ako, yung nakita ko sa vid mo kay xCat, gumawa siya ng 100M, paano yun? So let's ask them, no? Let's ask them what their combo or their rotation is dealing with a boss and dealing with the run towards the boss in Nightmare Dungeons. Let's start with xCat. xCat, my question is, if you're running a tier 100, hindi yung mindless run mo kasi alam ko yung tier 100 mo, fina-farm mo na yan. Pero yung parang may goal ka na gusto kong malinis yung run, gusto kong ma-one pop ko yung boss. Ano yung mindset mo? What's your rotation like?
One pop. Rotation.
Sorry. Oh my God.
Midnight Iconic
Ma-one
tayo
hit.
ngayon,
Ma-one
sir.
hit. Ma-one hit.
Grabe ka naman, sir.
Ma-one hit.
Grabe
Go.
naman.
Take it away, xCat.
Oh yeah, mainly so depende sa depende sa dungeon. So as Sorcs, ay iniiwasan ko mga ghost. Even as an eye shard main nun. Pag ghost literally hindi it just goes through the ghost.
Yes.
So yeah, so pinipili ko yung dungeon kung ano yung affix and where or what dungeon itself.
So,
Also
go ahead. Sorry.
always avoid yung mga any environment na land may damage sa ground-based effect like poison or death pulse, yung mga super annoying affixes. Volcanic also, yeah.
No
So,
to environment things.
oh, that
Ay, actually, kasi tapusin mo muna, tapos may comment ako doon.
sige. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right,
Ayun na
so
ba? Sige.
ano, yung
Ano?
yung rotation mo? Kat? Ay, may sasabihin ka, boss, sorry.
Ito, yung ano, since na-bring up yung environment, yan yung climate change eh. Yan ang nagsasuffer na tayo sa consequences ng climate change has been killed by the environment.
Tumawa kayong lahat, nag-joke si Boss
Badums.
Apple. Kung ayaw nyo mawalan ng clan, tumawa kayo
Sorry na. Sige na. Ayaw na.
F in chat.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
what do you mean by rotation? Ano
yung
rotation?
let's just say you're inside the dungeon, there's a group of mobs. As a conjuration, kasi anong gagawin mo to wipe them out? Yung parang
Okay. Yeah.
ito.
So,
Let's just say naka-dopamine tunnels naman lahat, no? If yes, then the safe answer would be if nag-solo ka ng tier 100 dopamine na sobrang daming mobs, what's your rotation like?
yeah. So first nakakast mo lagi is mainly Hydra to check where the monster is. And then yung lightning spear. Kasi parang auto-seek yun eh.
So
So it's gonna tell you where the mobs are.
Wait, Hydra will tell you where the mobs are?
Yeah, because it's going to automatically attack.
So homing pala to. Homing. Hydra are homing. So that's one really good thing.
Within range. Kung nasa
Yes,
range na,
okay.
then yeah, it's going to attack. But
Alright.
yung lightning spear, parang kahit off-screen, it goes off-screen. So mag-a-attack siya kahit na hindi mo kita.
So sa bar mo,
Very
you have your
useful.
Hydra, you have your lightning spear. What's your other three?
Teleport, of course.
Okay.
Because you have the Raiment and that's your like safety net with the telestun. Then yeah, frozen
Ice something, ice armor.
Frost Nova, sorry.
Frost
No,
Nova.
I don't have ice armor. I
Oh, okay.
have
Frost Nova.
flame shield.
Flame shield. So yun yung lima mo. All right.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah, go ahead.
puro cooldown lahat. So yeah, they're all cooldown except for Hydra.
Hydra uses mana, pero you don't have to spam it naman eh. That's why you're not mana hungry, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
And meron ka ba nung boss, yung your enchantment na Hydra na if you spend this much, you get the 5-headed Hydra?
Hindi, I'm using Ice Blades and Frozen Orb as my enchantments.
Awesome. Sige. Mamaya, he's gonna explain more detail, and I think Boss xCat also did a link for us, the D4 builds, and thanks for that, boss. For those who are aspiring to adapt the conjuration build, he made this for us, and pwede mo bang ma-link ito, boss, sa chat
Sige.
natin?
Wait lang.
To be honest, after ng chain lightning, I will get to xCat's build kasi I haven't experienced 100M in a Sorc. So I want that dopamine high before the season 1 ends, right? Okay, so let's go to our 2 fireballs. Same question. Is it the same? Tama ba tong, kasi I think itong NMD checklist ni Boss xCat is the same for everybody. I hate the ghosts. I never go to NMDs na may yung alam niyo yung mga archer na ghost na parang may Kamihami wave. Ayoko sila, and then dami nilang archers, and then ayoko din yung mga environment, yung mga sumasabog sa yung mga pumuputok kung namamatay sila, yung mga ano ba yun, Avenger ba yun? Ay, hindi, Death Pulse.
Banshees daw, Banshees.
Oh, Banshees, yes. So ayoko nun. So let's start with Miko. Miko, what's your mindset if you're doing a higher tier dungeon run using your fireballs?
Same rin yung kay xCat, pero mas
Okay.
prefer namin yung mga masikip tapos high density.
Mas may preferred yung masikip. Kasi yung
Ah,
fireballs para pasok lang, no?
yung ball pasok talaga.
Mm. Then yung balls ba, yung
Sinasadya mo ba yung mga yan?
yung fireballs ba, yung trajectory niyan forward lang, hindi siya pwedeng left and right?
Forward lang, oo.
Tapos ilang bounces yun?
Mga 4 to 5.
Tama ba yung sinabi ko kanina na yung first fireball mo, parang fixed yung distance? Hindi mo maano? Parang,
Oo,
kasi
malapit talaga.
okay. Alright. So, again, can you explain, for example, may clump na mobs. What runs through your head?
Inferno spam fireball.
Inferno, i-clump sila tapos spam fireball na. Hindi ka ba nauubusan ng mana? What's your fix sa mana problems nito?
Actually, Inferno. Dahil may modifier yung Inferno na no mana cost yung lahat ng pyromancy.
Oh, right. Lahat ng pyromancy, libre, no?
Yes.
So, parang cooldown reduction yung i-invest mo para mas mabilis kang makakast ng Inferno ulit.
And you can also use Ice Blades dahil may
Yung cooldown reduction na okay. Yung Ice Blades ba, do they need to hit an opponent for it to proc yung cooldown reduction?
Based sa description niya, cooldown yung Ice Blades. Sumasabay sa cooldown ng ibang skill.
Oh, that's really good. That's why pala nakikita ko yung Ice Blades sa almost all conjuration builds. Alright, so there you have it. Let's ask the same question kay coldsoul. What do you do with your fireballs? Whenever you're inside dopamine tunnel.
So yun, actually ang ano sa fireball, mas okay talaga siya dun sa mga masikip na areas like yung mga tawag dito parang corridors or yung mga pathway na ano kasi sakop ng range ng explosion ng fireball yung buong ano niya. So may-hit mo yung isang density ng mobs 2 to 3 times. Yun yung nagpapalakas ng damage niya actually. Yung multiple hits multiple hits kasi 'di ba tumatalbog siya. Each bounce, yung damage niya is tawag dito, reduced by 35%. Pero since minimum mo is 2 hits, kaya kung mapapansin mo yung sa videos namin kanina na yun sa nag-ano kami ng preferred na distance eh. Kasi pag masyadong malapit, isang talbog lang yung tatama. So medyo mag-a-adjust ka ng konti. So parang general gameplay mo, pagpasok mo sa isang density ng isang pack na babatuhan mo muna siya ng 1 or 2, then you can tele ka, tapos mag-nova ka rin sa gitna. I mean, parang typical na ice shards like before. Pero ang kagandahan sa akin, ang difference niya, pwede mo siya i-play ng safe ng malayo. Yung nang hindi biglang pumasok. Especially kung magpupush ka ng high tier na Nightmare Dungeon.
Yung fireball mo, Rush, may burn ka? Sa Paragons mo, may burn ka na, added damage to burn? Or...
Actually, damage versus burning yun. Yun yung pinuha ko. Ang enchantments ko rin, yun, the usual, kasi wala ang fireball, wala siyang innate na burning. So, kailangan mo siyang kunin sa fireball. Oo, yun yung ano niya eh. So, actually may isa pang variation to. Instead na Inferno yung kasama is Hydra. Definitely mas powerful yung ganung variation kasi nga Hydra is already strong as it is. So, kung gusto mo ng other na pero yung tinry ko kasi Inferno lang para at least tawag dito, ma-compare ko talaga yung damage ng Fireball compare sa other builds na viable ng Sorc. Kasi mas makikita mo yung ano niya.
How do you deal with your mana problems?
Yun, similar kay tawag dito, kay Mitch, yun nga, yung sa Inferno. Pero ang before I start this, kasi 'di ba, alam na natin few days before mag-start yung new patch na magkakaroon kasi tine-check ko yung Fireball, mataas talaga yung mana cost niya compared sa ibang So plus yung hindi pa na-fix yung Barber, hindi raw gumagana yung Lucky Hit. So ang ginawa ko sa kanya is nag-pump ako pinalitan ko yung Lucky Hits ng mana generation. So meron akong tatlong mana generation, 2 rings, tsaka yung nasa 54% yung mana generation ko. So with that, plus Prodigy, sustainable na yung Fireball. Unless na lang sobrang tanky nung or single target na lang yung boss na or elite, doon lang nagkakaroon ng problema. Pero I think most of the ganun din yung pinipace nila Once isa na yung kahit sa ibang class, once isa na yung papatayin mo, doon ka mas nauubusan ng mana.
Alright, so correct me if I'm wrong, ito yung sa'yo, di ba? You rely on resource generation, so may lucky hit ka to restore primary resource. May resource generation ka. Meron kang resource cost reduction?
Yes, yep. Actually, almost max yung resource generation ko na rolls. Max yung necklace and boots. Yung sa focus lang yung hindi max.
Yeah. So guys, if you're gonna try to do a fireball build, the downside is, I'll be blunt with you, is sobrang dami mong habulin na affixes. Oo. But good side naman in belonging to a Ronin clan, namimigay lang ang lahat ng gamit dito. So just join a voice channel, anyone who's grouping up, baka sakali meron silang extra, bibigyan ka nun. Ako, I also give stuff out. We don't sell it even if yung iba na parang nagigilty sila, ay benta mo na lang, they will tell you, no? Benta na lang to, pero most often than not, nagbibigayan lahat ng mga high rolls and godly rolls na equipment sa mga voice channels. You can't have those if you don't join our voice channels. Please join our voice channels, make your own voice channel, tag people, help, I need equipment, ganun. Pero of course, parang lang, give more than what you can take. Parang ganun lang, no? Parang pangit naman yung parati na lang tayong palamunin. Di ba? But we actually give to people. Von gives to people, ako, everybody. Kung extra nila yun, yeah, even if it's 50M, doubted as 50M to 100M sa Sanctuary, we give it if need mo. Alright, so again, going back to this, it's kind of an affix hungry build kasi you're gonna need this. Chain Lightning does too, pero what they are is they're fun and they are really effective as a build. Pero yun nga lang, you need to invest on these affixes. Now let's go to Von kasi sila. Kasi siya yung Arc Clash representative natin. Same question, Boss Von. I think you're already at high level 80 or 90 ka na, no?
98? Yeah.
Ayun, almost 100.
100.
So, if you're presented with a mob density just like dopamine tunnels, alam ko you need to dive because you're an Arc Clash. I've been an Arc Clash in Season 0. Are you afraid na pag-dive mo, mamamatay ka na diretso?
No, actually, yun yung nakita ko for my build. I actually following build of Stoiven. So he has like 7 Paragon boards. So iba talaga, unusual build siya compared to the traditional boards. Yep.
So sorry, matutulog na daw si Enzo. Shout out lang natin. Good night, Enzo.
Oh, hey! Shout out,
Good
Enzo.
night,
Good night.
Enzo.
Thank you for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Next time ulit, we'll run Nightmare Dungeons with you. Thanks. Thanks, Enzo. Good night.
Alright, boss. Sorry for cutting you.
Alright, yeah. So yun nga. So it has 7 Paragon boards. So it's not really a typical Arc Clash build. And ang napansin ko is mas mahunat siya. Kaya I am not really afraid of diving in to a really greater mob density sa pagdating sa dungeon. Talagang talon lang ako ng talon. Whenever I see my defensive skill is up, talon kagad ako sa kahit nga wala kahit hindi naka-up yung density ko kasi I am so confident na I have the defense or the what do you call this? I have the yung kunat nandun sa build ko.
So Boss Von, before mo ipasok dapat makunat.
Dapat dapat makunat and matigas ka.
Okay,
Bago may pasok.
so hindi pala pagpasok saka mo na i-cast yung pangpakunat mo. Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir. Sorry, kids. Yeah, dapat matigas ka muna bago ka pumasok.
I see.
Para makatagal ka doon sa laban.
So what's your rotation? What's your rotation doon? Pagdating mo na sa
Horny jail kayong lahat, ha?
Popping out.
Lahat kayo pumunta sa horny jail.
Wala! Anong sinasabi ko? Art clash to!
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah,
Art
man!
clash to!
So,
ayun, pumasok ka na makunat ka. What's your rotation
you
there?
have to pop your defensive skill first. Namely, yung Ice Shield and Flame Shield. So, pagpasok mo doon, you have to pop your ultimate din, yung, what do you call this?
Unstable currents.
Stable current. Tapos yun, ano ka na, whiplash ka na. Whiplash ka na. Yun na yun.
Awesome.
So that matigas ka and then,
wapak.
Okay, actually,
yeah, go ahead, boss.
Actually, ganito rin yung experience ko nun sa nung nag-iShards ako. Mali yung ginagawa ko. Like, papasok muna ako tsaka ako magkakas. And pagkakalong kailangan ko yung ice shield. Tsaka ako lang kinakas. So, mali na-realize ko, shit, mali pala yung ginagawa ko. Dapat pala, before pa lang yung fight, kakas muna. Yeah, yun yung medyo noob mistake na ginawa ko nun. Right?
Ay, may comment ako dyan.
Go,
Hindi ko
boss.
lang alam kung tama yung ginagawa ko. Kasi ako, pagpasok ko, magpo-process muna ako. Tapos
Bago
once sorry?
Ay, sorry, my bad. Go ahead, bo.
Ayun, pagpasok ko, magpo-prosnova ako. So definitely lahat sila ma-frost. Tama ba? Mag-freeze.
Tama yun, tama.
Ayun, pag nawala na, gasaka ako mag ice armor.
Ice,
Para hindi, ewan ko lang kung tama yung ginagawa ko.
No, that's another one. Yeah, another one good rotation din.
Yeah, that's
tapos
really
good.
good.
Madedodge ka na, yung flame shield. Kumbaga yung backup mo.
Parang
panic button.
Panic button mo yun. Oo.
Tama,
Kasi,
tama.
pero ako, I'm guilty nito eh. Yung parang, may meme nga to eh. Parang, throw random shit, let's go. Bam, bam, bam. Minsan gano'n na yung, press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, bam, bam.
Literally, this is how
may question.
The actual, how I play my Sorc right now. Like, press everything na spam button.
May question daw, boss up?
Ayun, si Nasty. Boss Sisig, applicable yan if the instant damage ang dealer ang mobs.
Tama.
Hindi pala question, sorry.
Statement. Tama. Kasi baka mamaya pagpasok mo pa lang, deads ka na. Tama.
Hindi, na-frozen sila eh. Frozen sila kasi let it go muna si, Boss Sisig. Bang!
Oh, yeah. Yung, Frost Nova.
Kumbaga, sa
parang
yung entrance.
Merong mobs na hindi mo kita dun sa siguro yun yung ibig sabihin ni Nasty. Kasi may hard hitter like So, to be safe, kahit ako ganun din ang playstyle ko, pinapop ko na talaga yung ice armor since mabilis naman yung cooldown na. Then yun, Frost Nova, may flame shield ka naman after. So, to be safe lang. Kasi merong pagpasok mo sa may mas malayo pa na abot ka na pala ng range na pag pumasok ka.
Yung mga hinayupak na corpse bow na yan.
Yun, isa pa yun. Yun siguro yung
But just to answer CJ Mac, depende sa playstyle mo. But generally, papap mo na yung defensive skill mo because barrier yun. So, depende sa aspect mo kung meron kang increased damage when a barrier is on.
Oh yeah, that's really
yun
good.
Yung reason
that's a
kung
good
bakit
catch. Yes.
Isa pa yun. Tama.
Diba? Tama.
Kasi we make use of that aspect eh. Even if hindi ako arc clash, I still make use of that aspect na kung may barrier ka, you deal more damage. So that's why,
I guess it's aspect dependent. In the same way yung flame shield, kung naka-aspect ka na may immobilize. So that's also extra damage pag naka-devouring blaze ka na.
So, it's safe to say na before kang pumasok, dapat may barrier kang suot.
Matigas ka muna dapat.
Dapat may barrier. Matigas ka tapos naka-barrier ka.
Barrier
para safe yung...
dapat nakabalot ka na.
Para safe.
Protection talaga dapat.
Para
matigas
safe.
and may protection.
Yun. Very good, very good, very good. All right. So, nawala tayo sa topic. Yun yung sa Arc Clash.
Usapan natin.
Sa Chain Lightning naman, I'll answer, it's actually kind of the same with everybody. Kasi minsan yung Chain Lightning ko, don't misunderstand Chain Lightning. It's actually a melee, a melee build. 'Di ba? Para siyang, ay, Chain Lightning, so you're gonna cast it from afar. It's actually not. But the good thing is, your Chain Lightning can reach far distant enemies. The playstyle is still the same. You cast your defensive skills, go inside, and then Frost Nova, and then Chain Lightning, and just hope na lalabas yung Frozen Orb, mo-proc yun kasi yan yung enchantment ko, Frozen Orb. And then just deal damage and wait for the barber to pop. So pag pop ng barber, patay silang lahat, go to the next, teleport to the next. Ako, I'm not using raiment kasi I've already seen that yung stun ko nanggagaling sa sa spear, lightning, lightning
Okay.
spear. Super OP sa stun yung lightning spear. Parang eto, stun ka. Everybody gets a stun. For 6 seconds, lumilipad yung lightning spear, and everything that it touches, provided na mag-crit siya, which almost always mag-crit naman, it will stun that mob. So sometimes nakikita ko, and I'm dealing with the clump of mobs sa screen ko, when I go to the next area na off screen, stunned na sila. So it's really OP for me. So wala na yung I'm not using any raiment. So I have 2 DR na sa, para mas makunat ako, 2 DR na sa chest piece ko. And of course the Mage Lord's aspect. Oh my god, it's so OP. Grabe, sobrang kunat na ng Sorc ngayon with that aspect. So if you wanna try Arc Clash, if you wanna try something that will face tank, go for the Mage Lord's aspect. If you're running with Veer's aspect na, no? So go for that Mage Lord aspect. All right. So, last question for everybody here. Let's start with Boss xCat. What's your tip as we end this talk with our Sorc Knight? What's your tip for people who are not new to Sorc pero gustong mag-try ng Conjuration?
So just general advice, I guess.
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
pag mid game kayo, don't obsess over the end game items. Don't min max. So if you're mid game, that means you're still in the mid game. So mag-obsess kayo sa min max when 100 ka na and you have everything geared up.
Awesome.
But yeah, as far as gear, pinakamadaling i-gear up yung Conjuration eh. Because you don't need resource cost reduction. All you need pretty much is cooldown. Bonus na lang yung all stat on your gear.
All right. So is it safe to say parang similar sila sa Arc Clash xCat?
Mas
Hindi
mahirap
naman, no?
yung Arc Clash because may lightning damage ka pang kailangan intindihin.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So xCat actually posted his build here. If you want to try it out, if you want to see big damage, kasi hands down today S tier ang Conjuration. Hands down. Nothing can compare to it. It's fast, it hits hard, it's fun to play. Pero if you want variety, yeah, go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, just a disclaimer, no. So that build, so I didn't really reinvent that build. So I looked at someone else's build and I just picked up on that and modified what I needed based on the gear I had.
Awesome. I think it's the same for everybody here. Kung nag-theory craft tayo, we need references din. So it's still, it's still a good way to do that. And that's how ARPGs go. May mauuna sa build and make it work and just post it, and then you make it work on your end. How can I make it work with what I have? So that's what xCat did.
So you copy a build and then you make it your own. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There you go. All right. So same question to Miko, Michmaester. What's a general tip and what's a tip for your build mismo?
So for Fireball, hindi siya maganda for early. So mas sabi ko lang. Kasi dami mong kailangan para ma-maintain mo yung mana mo eh.
Mm.
So, yung magpa-fireball ka lang is around late game. Kung saan ka na makakuha ng mga magandang item, makaka-farm ka na ng mga aspect mo. And mag-fireball ka lang kung gusto mo talaga.
So parang late bloomer siya na build, no?
Yes.
Alright.
Ako may final question ako kay Mitch kung tapos na.
Yung ano yeah.
Yun na ba yun?
So, tapos na yun, oh.
Tapos na? Oo, sige. Mitch, eto para sa'yo. Ano yung profile picture mo? Popcorn ba yan? Ngipin? Pustiso? Kasi ang tagal ko nang tinititigan. Like, ilang linggo
Chicharon
na.
ata yan eh.
Hindi ko
Ano
maisip.
sa tingin mo?
Chicharon.
Chicharon ba yan?
Oh,
Parang
pangalan ko dati
caramel
Chicharon.
na... Chicharon. Okay, thank you. Ngayon ko lang nakita. Oo nga na, chicharon nga. Kala ko ngipin na bulok. Sorry.
Hindi. I cannot unsee it. Parang ngipin nga na bulok, no?
Sige.
Alright, so
Sige.
same question kay Cold Soul. On the topic of Fireball. I think mas maraming content si Cold Soul sa Fireball since he prepared for all the gear, and then si Mitch, I really asked him to kind of forced him even to do the Fireball. Pero kay Cold Soul, ano yung perspective mo? Same question.
So, yun. Well, tama si Mitch. Medyo ano nga yung gearing niya, especially sa ano. Although, once makuha mo yung needed na aspect, I think mararan mo siya in lower ano. Kasi ako usually, ang preference ko sa Sorc lagi, at least, I mean, minimum of one ano lang ako, resource aspect. Pero if ano ka, ay kapos ka pa sa aspect sa simula, pwede mo siyang, I mean, kapos ka sa mana in early game, pwede ka mag double aspect na ano na may resource like a prodigy plus yung recharging, ano yun yung sa sort na may mag-increase ng mana regeneration. I mean kung yun masusustain mo siya.
Okay.
Pero saka ano siya, I mean hindi siya, I mean kung i-rank ko siya siguro below, hindi siya nandun sa mga high damaging na builds ng Sorc. Sabihin natin nasa mid ano lang siya. Pero ang ano sa kanya is, for me, maganda sa tingnan. I mean, nag-enjoy akong tingnan yung tumatalbog-talbog na fireballs along. Especially kung sasabay siya sa frozen orb. So every time, kasi yun ang enchantment ko rin is frozen orb. So every time I cast the fireball,
Dalawang balls, may
tumatalbog
tumatalbog, tapos may umiikot.
yun, tama. Exactly. Tapos mapapansin mo yung frozen orb, di ba? Tumalsik-talsik din yung sa kanya, di ba? So, explosion, that's, ano, I mean, maganda siya sa mata. So, I mean, it's a fun build to play. Not the strongest, but it's a fun build to play. Tumatawa na naman si Bon.
Basta siya parang
naman iniisip
sinasabi
mo.
mong basta sinasabi mong maganda tingnan yung bouncing balls, no?
Yep.
Alright, so ayun, just to recap before I go to our clash and to Boss Sisig sa experience niya. For xCat's Conjuration, it's easy to build because you mainly want to look for cooldown reduction, and it's a build that he copied pero made it his own on what he's got. So I think that goes for everybody, no? I copy a build and then I'll see if ito ba yung kaya ko, itong gawin ko, ano ba yung mas comfortable ako, 'di ba? So you have a structure and then you can just switch it up from whatever you want. And yun yung parang general ano niya, and sorry, excuse me. And sa fireballs natin, it's kind of acquired taste, parang niche siya, no, na build na if you really are enjoying fireballs and how they bounce from one place to another, then it's fun for you to see people mobs exploding kasi explosion mismo yung fireballs eh. And then it's fire based. So if you enjoy that, go for it. For me, it's kind of hard to build, but it is rewarding, no. And before I go to Boss Von and the others, I'll tell you my experience of Ball Lightning.
Sorry, Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is one of the builds na from 1 to 100, pwede yun na yung build mo. It's with the Conjuration and the Arc Clash. No? Chain Lightning, Conjuration, Arc Clash, it's one of those builds na at start of your leveling, yun na yung build mo forever until end game. Pwede yun sila. So if you're not finicky, if you're not ano ba? Is that the right word? If you're not always changing your minds. So ako, yun yung ginawa ko at first. I leveled up with sa Season 0 Arc Clash and I ended up with the Eternal Realm with Arc Clash. Actually hindi, I ended up with Ice Shard. Pero I spent a lot of time with Arc Clash. Pero yeah, these three, Chain Lightning, Conjuration, and Arc Clash, you can basically go from 1 to 100 with the same build. Kung ayaw nyo paulit-ulit ng Paragon, paulit-ulit nito, and this and that. No, but Ball Lightning is one of those investments that are really good. You can go Ball Lightning from Chain Lightning kasi mana dependent silang dalawa. So most often than not, you still have the lucky hit, chance to restore, resource generation, resource cost. So anything here, you can jump from one build to another. What you still can do, but pinakamahirap na gawin is if I go from Chain Lightning to Conjuration or Arc Clash. Medyo maraming ibahin na equipment doon. Right? So that's why from dito pa lang sa when you're presented with the fork in the road, you decide, do I need mana or do I ditch the mana all throughout? Parang ganun. Alright? So, Boss Von, tip,
Alright,
Arc
so
Clash.
yeah, for Arc Clash, this is my just the tip. Just the tip for Arc Clash.
Oh
Yes, I
my
was really waiting
god.
for this moment. Alright. Okay, yung Arc Clash kasi, the build that I'm running right now, sobrang gear dependent niya. In a way na yung trifecta ko is iba. Yung trifecta ng most class is Vul, crit, and crit damage, right? For us, Arc Clash, for the build that I'm running right now, my trifecta is crit chance, attack speed, and all stat. Now, all stat that's because of I'm running 7 or I am doing or using 7 boards right now. Kaya ang dami kong hinahabol na Paragon boards, ang dami kong hinahabol na requirements. And all stat is helping me out with that. And yung damage mo, yung exactly the nodes. Nodes. Yung mga what do you call this? Yung once you hit the requirement for each nodes, especially the rare nodes, sobrang dun mo makikita yung potential ng Arc Clash dahil meron din yung you will gain more resistance, you will gain more damage, and you will gain more defensive stuff for your Arc Clash. So again, for my trifecta on the build that I'm running right now, which is I'm going to share it to you guys as well. All stat, attack speed, and crit chance for me. So yeah, my just the tip for if you want to do the run or if you want to run the same build that I'm doing right now, you have to really invest on your gears and what do you call this? And invest in your gears and look for those trifecta.
Awesome. Boss Sisig, what are your thoughts while you level up your sort and reach 86 ba yun? Sabi mo,
85.
sorry. 85.
85, oo. Ako kasi, ang tawag dito, well, nag-max roll din naman ako. Pero,
Hmm.
ako kasi medyo hindi ako fan ng meta.
Okay.
So, alam ko bago ako sa Sorc, pero parang naging playful ako sa Arc Clash eh. Like, nakikita ko yung ibang build. And, tinry kong i-tweak based sa gusto ko. Like, gumamit ako nung Fortune. Fortune ba yun? I don't think ginagamit siya. Tapos yung everlasting din ba yun? Everlasting ba yun? Yung pag na-wool is may damage reduction. So technically, pinapakunat ko talaga yung
Yung
Arc
sort.
Clash ko. Yung
Oo.
build ko. Ginagawa ko siyang tank. So, ayun. Sa akin lang, gamitin nyo rin yung experience nyo, I think. Kung meron na kayo dun sa game. Kasi ako talagang, ewan ko, may timpla ako ng build palagi kahit anong class. So, and I think yun ang maganda rin sa mga ARPG kasi pwede mo kung makikita niyo yung ibang class, iba lang yung name, pero meron siyang possible na equivalent din nung gano'ng aspect, which is good kasi 'pag lumipat ka, medyo hindi ka mamamahay na, "Ay, ba't gano'n, ganito dito?" So, ayun lang, maging playful lang, wala namang I think mawawala kasi wala wala pa namang leaderboard or anything.
Yes.
Well, may
Yes.
gold, pero ano lang, explore kasi pagka nagpakulong din tayo minsan sa meta, 'di ba? Parang ewan ko, yun ako kasi na-enjoy ko yung tipong 'pag hiningi sa'yo, "Ay, may build ka niyan?" "Ay,
Yes.
pre, teka lang pre, wala kasi medyo lumabag ako sa sa 10 utos, kumbaga." Pero
Mm.
ayun lang, para sa'kin fulfilling lang yung tipong yun nga, katulad nung sinabi kanina nung mga iba dito na ayun nga, tumingin ka ng isang build, then, play around it. Kung gusto mong
Yes.
baguhin, et cetera, then wala namang magsasabi na ng dito na, "Uy, mali yan," or wala namang hindi naman 'to exam, alam mo yun? So,
Yes.
ayun lang, be playful and enjoy your build.
Yes, awesome. Ako, may ma-add ako dito. I always consider building a character para na lang sa end game, para siyang journey eh. So for example, if you wanna go from to a spot, no, if nasa, let's just say nasa Japan ka, gusto ko mong pumunta sa isang park. Tapos may mga builds na, may mga routes na, Google Maps mo, may usually they give you 3 routes eh. 1, 2, 3. Kung ayaw mo ng meta, gusto mo talagang i-experience na mawala ka, punta ka sa kanal, ganun, mababasa ka. Oo, no regrets kasi na-experience mo eh. All I'm saying is, it's the experience that
Project
counts.
to
And
the
when you,
experience.
once you reach there, you still reach there. Pupunta ka din naman sa build na yun. Oh. So that's what I'm saying. Just enjoy building your character, building your sort. It's part of the fun of an ARPG. Kasi if you just go with a guide diretso, and then you just go with the flow and then reach in end game, yun yung sometimes masasabi mo, ayun na pala yun. Hindi mo na experience yung building the character or the class eh. So yeah, I urge everybody to create another character since we have a lot of character slots. Try sort out if you're kind of not bored but almost at the end of min-maxing your main. Give sort a try. Get all of these advice, screenshot all the people that are sorcs, and then ask around. The beauty of being a Ronin and being a part of this clan is the information that we give out is for free. We're even happy if we are asked. Etong community to, nasisihan kami kung tinatanong kami. Hindi kami, we're not annoyed if somebody's asking. If somebody's asking, uy, pumunta ka sa e-boys tapos magtanong ka, sasagutin ka ng 20 tao nandun. hindi magkakadinigan kasi lahat sila sumasagot. So yeah, if you're new to Sorc, ask around, look for help, and enjoy the class. Alright? Especially na na-buff siya and with the season mechanics. Etong season mechanics na to makes Sorc work. Kasi, again, whether we like it or not, without the barber, medyo kind of lackluster yung damage natin. But with the barber, every Sorc build is online once you get it. Alright? And with that, I will welcome our host.
There you go.
Welcome
Late.
po, Shao.
Ay.
Kumusta yung tulog?
Yes, sir. There you go.
Putek yan! Kasama ko sila xCat kanina. What's up, xCat? Ayan o. Late ako, pasensya na. Ayan.
Di, okay lang.
Anyway.
Ang galing ni Boss Up. Magano.
Let's go! Ayan.
Okay guys, so ulit-ulit tayo, no? Hindi, joke.
Oo, ulit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Open it up. Open it up, siya.
Our episode for today.
Laugh trip, gagi.
Oh my God, balik. Pagising ko, pagising ko kanina, sabi ko, teka, parang may mali. Wait. Go!
I-recap lang natin yung mga na-miss ni Xiao. Yung i-recap natin.
Alright.
Ikaw, Boss Bon.
Oh my God.
Recap niya. Blue balls, just the tip.
Oh man. Ayan.
Na-miss mo yung just the tip.
Actually, well, yun.